Meanwhile, Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has criticised the centre's move to desist from talking to Pakistan till it stops border firing. Omar, who was speaking exclusively to my colleague Kamaljit Sandhu, said that India must keep the lines of communication open, adding that he has been disappointed with Pakistan's firing on people of Jammu and Kashmir who just battled a devastating flood. The J&K Chief Minister said that Pakistan has been busy diverting attention from its domestic trouble by resorting to aggression on the border.
Continuous ceasefire violations from Pakistan, and we have with us the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Omar Abdullah. Sir, there must be a certain desperation. People at the border areas are almost as desperate as you are, perhaps more. What do you really have to feel? There are obviously no flag meetings happening, so the cycle of violence is going to continue?
This is a very difficult time. These people have only just started to recover from extraordinarily heavily floods in most of these areas. They are just about putting their lives back on track, and suddenly they've been hit with this problem. I hope that the shelling comes to an early end, but in the meantime, my government is responsible to ensure that we evacuate areas that are most affected by the shelling, and having evacuated the areas, we try and take the best possible care of people.
Do you think that...
Let me finish. The fact that flag meetings are not taking place is actually a matter of major concern for me, because I understand that flag meetings take place in unusual situations. This is an unusual situation. To say that we will not have a flag meeting until the shelling stops defeats the purpose of a flag meeting, because if the shelling stops, then we don't need a flag meeting. And therefore I would urge Government of India that for a situation like this, while you are responding shell for shell, it is also important to keep channels of communication open, because otherwise this spiral of violence will not end and these people will continue to suffer. My only concern at this point in time is an early end to these people's suffering.
Do you think Pakistan is a dysfunctional state, and obviously army is obviously acting in a different way? The civilian administration is talking about peace.
You know, I really don't want to get into passing judgment on Pakistan. People will form their own opinions. The fact as an individual I am disappointed that the situation has reached this point is no secret. I believe that Pakistan should be more focused on dealing with their own internal problems than creating problems for us. But unfortunately, Pakistan has never been one to take my advice, and I doubt there will ever be a time when they will take my advice. That having been said, my government, my colleagues, the people of Jammu and Kashmir have to deal with the repercussions of Pakistan's actions, and will do whatever we can.
I'd like to cut across to my colleague Kamaljit Sandhu, joining us live right now on the story. Kamal, you just spoke to the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, and despite he did in fact criticize Pakistan, but despite of Pakistan still shelling, continuing shelling India's borders, he still wants dialogue to continue or to be resumed with the country.
Well, it's not specifically a dialogue, but a flag meeting. That is what he's really expecting the government of India to do, saying the cycle of violence needs to end. He's obviously also criticized Pakistan, saying the people of Jammu and Kashmir are suffering because of the border violence, as well as ceasefire violations which have happened across. So there is a direct message to Pakistan saying Nawaz Sharif has been raising the Kashmir issue. This is only to divert attention from the internal politics and obviously have attention of the people of Pakistan on Kashmir. So they said they should be minding their own business rather than create problem in India. That is what the Chief Minister is saying. But yes, a direct appeal going to the government of India through headlines today, saying that the government should really make an effort to talk to Pakistan so that the cycle of violence ends.
All right, appreciate you joining us. Kamaljit Sandhu had spoken exclusively to Omar Abdullah just a short while back in Jammu. Meanwhile, Pakistan continues to provoke India as Pakistan Rangers target civilian areas. More than 60 BSF posts are attacked in overnight shelling. BSF forces retaliated in the face of the onslaught. Our team of reporters have spread along the borders. They bring us this ground report.
There's almost pin-drop silence behind me, and this is the silence of tragedy. In the shelling that followed from Pakistan and heavy firing, people just ran for their lives, and obviously all these cattle were left behind because they were obviously all here in this particular compound, and you can see they're obviously soiled with blood, and obviously all that thing that is really left is the carcasses, and obviously huge task. There are one or two people we actually did spot here who've come to really look as to how much of a destruction there is. आप ये बताइए, पशु जानवर तो सारे मर गए हैं, लोग क्या कर रहे हैं अपनी जान बचाने के लिए?
लोग अपनी जान बचाने ऐसे भाग रहे हैं, कहाँ भाग रहे हैं, कहाँ भाग रहे हैं। पशु तो मर गए, हमारे घर वाला पूरा तबाह हो गया है।
And obviously, if you can really have a look, there's complete silence, and obviously people had to let go of whatever little they had. But this is a sign of destruction, and Pakistan is obviously up to its old games, and it doesn't matter to them whether the people they are attacking, the people they claim to be their own as part of Jammu and Kashmir, they obviously don't care. And that is why we see persistent attack, a persistent ceasefire violation happening from Pakistan. With camera person Ravi Kant, this is Kamaljeet Sandhu in Joda Farm for Headlines Today.
This season of the year is being considered as most favorable season for the infiltration of militants on line of control. I am here on the line of control in one of the maize fields in one of the villages just in parallel to the line of control. It is very easy for militants or infiltrators to hide in these high maize crops, and easily they could not be located or identified. The security agencies believe that the ongoing tension on the line of control is basically a kind of shadow and facilitation for infiltration. That is why not only the line of control, the army and the security forces have enhanced security grid in the other areas near line of control so that these infiltration bids could be foiled. With cameraman Rauf Ahmed Ashraf Wani for Headlines Today on line of control.